Good morning, everybody. How we doing?
Morning. Good. How are you?
Morning. Good.
Good, good.
Looking forward to seeing Lee's presentation later today.
Yeah, me too.
Me three. I got to change. I just did we just did a team event, like a motivational thing. So that was my backdrop for that one. I'm going to change it for here. I don't know.
Do you have a green screen behind you?
I do not. With Zoom, you can do it without a green screen.
Okay. Because it never looks like yours is a Zoom background.
Huh.
Well, except for like your I don't know if it's your
My
left
arm
hand.
down here,
Yeah, that's the only time.
Well, it's weird because if somebody else tries to come in the picture, it always gets blurry for some reason. Or if I go back.
Yeah.
Scott, where are you located?
Las Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah.
What part of Vegas?
So the Summerlin area. So it'd be
Okay.
like the west side, northwest.
Okay.
Yeah. And are you do you sponsor some of the people here in Vegas?
I have
there's
a
lot
couple
of-
agents in Vegas.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you an EXP or?
No, I'm with Huntington Ellis. It's just a small boutique.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
office.
I have two agents in Vegas, and I got a guy that has a big franchise that's thinking about switching over
Oh, very
as
good.
soon as his franchise expires.
Okay. But are those actual pictures of your office?
This isn't, but
Okay.
my office does have this saying on its wall, ironically enough. This is my home office today. Let me turn off my background here. So I got a thing of New York, Manhattan.
Is that snow? Oh, that's a picture.
No, it's just the windows open.
Okay.
You're trying to rub it in, huh?
No. I mean, I personally, I didn't realize how bad your winter was until the Bills game last week. And I talked to John about that.
Yeah, it's so far we've had just a dusting, so it hasn't it's stuck for maybe a day or two. So we've been lucky the last 4 or 5 years. It's funny because my middle daughter, she's 21, her boyfriend has a landscaping / snow removal business, and he signed up like 55 customers for snow removal, and only like half of them paid. And then now he's panicking because it hasn't really snowed enough. So typical, like if I signed a contract, I probably wouldn't want to pay until, I don't want to pay $400 in advance until I know that it's going to snow. You know what I mean? So now he's panicking. He's like, can you help me create some system to get everyone to pay in advance?
I guess it's like insurance.
I always do pay per push because, but anytime, whatever way you gamble, you always lose.
Yeah. And Lee, where are you from? Where are you based?
Michigan, Northville, Michigan, 15 minutes southeast of Ann Arbor. Both my wife and I went to University of Michigan. Go Blue.
Yeah.
And then my youngest daughter's got a soccer scholarship to play at University of Cincinnati. So now we're like panicking that it could be Cincinnati versus Michigan. I'm glad they're not playing right now. But I think it's going to be tough for Cincinnati to beat Alabama. It's going to be a tall task.
Yeah.
And they got robbed in that whole rating thing.
Yeah. Well, think about it. Alabama's all five. Their whole starting lineup is all 5-star recruits, like the
Yeah.
elite of the elite. And Cincinnati is a bunch of ragtag, 2 and 3-star recruits that were just coached up.
Mhm. I'm glad the committee recognized them and actually put them in.
I'm sure they wanted to put Notre Dame in, but after Kelly left, that didn't help their cause.
No.
All right. So I was giving it a minute here because we had some more people jumping in, but looks like it's just us for right now, guys. And
That's the way
I have-
Friday goes.
I know, right? I was actually trying to figure out where Isaiah was. I think he's like heading into the office right now because we've got the challenge after this.
Yep.
But anyways, today we wanted to talk with you about creating an onboarding checklist and creating a great work culture for when you're trying to recruit real estate agents. And I wanted to kind of use our onboarding checklist for our agents as an example, because as you guys know, we own our own brokerage here in Rochester, New York, Ren Home Advisors. And when we actually bring a real estate agent on, we have a checklist of tasks that we go through, including getting them signed up for the Ren services, right? Their Ren Marketing Hub account with their emails and texts, getting them integrated into an intake call and a launch call, as well as making sure they know how to use all of the systems that you guys are implementing. Okay, just bear with me here. I'm just trying to find it. I apologize. But does anybody have any good news that they want to share while I'm looking for this?
Friday.
This Friday.
But that's typically I don't go showing houses anymore, so I'm lucky that I don't have to do that. But really, my wife looks forward to Monday because she's busy with the team doing properties all weekend.
Nice. Very cool. And congratulations to Lee. He signed up for Z Buyer today through Ren. So we're going to be managing that account for him to make sure that he's getting some leads coming in for his ISAs to call on. So I already talked to your ISAs, Lee. They're very excited
Good,
to have the Z
good.
Buyer leads coming in soon. And I sent an email to Julie letting her know that I've already got the account hooked up. As soon as you get your first lead, it's going to go right into the marketing hub.
Yeah,
and
we
it's
already
going
got
to
our
auto
first
start
lead.
that campaign. You did?
First lead came in probably a half hour after we signed up, and they're looking to sell and buy. The only negative is they're in like a trailer park, so we probably can't help with the sell. But for the first lead, I guess it's not too bad. Immediately they and we have an agent that has experience with that. It's considered like real property, so it's done a little different. So we probably could just hand that lead off to that one agent right out of the gate.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. See, I told you, Lee, trust in me and everything will work out. All right, guys. So I was able to pull up this onboarding template here, and there are some tasks that we go through. Now, mind you, we use Lone Wolf back office right now for our brokerage. So you will see some onboarding tasks in there regarding the brokerage. Okay. Give me 1 second here. All right, so let me share my screen. So right now, this is the first part of our onboarding template for any agents that come on through our brokerage Rent Home Advisors. And obviously the first thing we do is we send the individual contractors agreement and software and service agreement, as well as a W-9 statement. The reason for that is because when they sign up to our brokerage, they get immediate access to our software and services through Ren. Whereas like you guys would just be bringing them on as an additional user account. So that's where you see that contractor agreement and software and service agreement. That may look a little bit different for you guys. All right, and then so then we have a checklist task here for confirm service agreement, contractors agreement, and W-9 have been signed by the agent. We attach the contracts and agreements to Lone Wolf back office so that we have documentation saved. And then we schedule our onboarding call with Ren. So as Ren clients, you guys remember your intake call, right? You signed up, you filled out your intake form, and then you were scheduled with one of the Ren employees for an intake call so that we could build out your account. We take that same process with your guys' user accounts. So if you have a new agent coming on board, Lee, that you want to get integrated in the system, all you have to do is let your marketing coach know that you have a new team member and you'd like to get them started on the launch call. They don't really have to do an intake call because there's not really like an account build out because we've already built your account, right? As the core member, but they would get scheduled for the next launch call as well as a kickoff call to make sure that they understand how to utilize the tools. Okay. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to stop me at any time. Then we schedule a brokerage huddle with the admins for the RHA team. So we get all of our admins together as well as any operational managers. And we schedule a huddle with them and the brand new agent to welcome them to the team, to make sure that they understand how the admin and the transaction coordinator are going to work with them. We add them to the weekly team meeting at 5 p.m. on Wednesday. So every Wednesday we have a team meeting. It's hosted on our Google Calendar and there's a Google Meet link. So we make sure that we invite them to that and they accept it so that we can have them be there every Wednesday. We collect the agent's headshot photo and attach it to the project so that we have documentation of it if we ever need to go back and find it. We order 50 to 100 business cards for the new agent with all of their personal information. We do a social media post on the RHA Facebook page welcoming the brand new agent to the team. We create them a Google Suite user and a Zoho user. So if you guys are familiar with your Ren apps like Ren Connect, Ren Bookings, right, Ren Analytics, all of those apps that are being rolled out, we create an account as a user for our agents as well so that they can have access to certain applications. And then we also, our businesses run off of G Suite. So we create them a G Suite user account under the RHA email domain so that they can access files, right, that we share through Jive, et cetera, et cetera. And then we set the RHA email to forward to the agent's personal email. Now this one really comes down to how your agents want to work, right? They may want to, if they're a newer agent, they may want to adopt the email address that you provide them, if you do provide an email, right, with your domain, or they might want to have that point to their personal email box so that it's still the front-facing email address, but they only have to check one inbound email box. So that all comes down to your agent. We add the agent to our Zoho Click group chat. That is our texting service / chat room service. It's like Slack, if anybody in here has ever used Slack before. We go through and we actually add them in Click here so that we can have conversations with internal employees and make sure that if they need any support or help, they can reach out immediately. And if you're on level 3, you should have a Click chat with your marketing coach. If you don't, I would reach out to your marketing coach to make sure that gets set up. sometimes they're able to respond a lot faster than just going to the normal rensupport.com. Then we assign them to our LMS training applications. Now, you guys may have a training application that you use currently that you would want to assign your agents to, or remember, we have the Sales and Marketing Academy, right? We have the master class. So when you log them, or when you go and get a new agent signed up, your task could be to reach out to Ren to get them signed up for the Sales and Marketing Academy, and then having this mapped out as their onboarding checklist, right? To make sure that they actually go through this entire course from start to finish. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Ben Lang, right? He's done a lot of guest speaking for us recently. What he's doing is he's actually building a ClickFunnels like this page here, where it's going to have his onboarding videos that he's recording on his processes internally for his brokerage that he wants them to understand. And he's also roping in our training videos here through the Sales and Marketing Academy to make sure it's all in one centralized location. And I know, Lee, we had talked about doing this as well. So if that's something, team leaders, that you're interested in, make sure you reach out to me because we can make that happen.
Definitely.
And Lee, I plan on getting with you about that. I'm kind of mapping out the first stage of it with Ben right now.
Okay.
And then I planned on bringing that roadmap to you so that you have an idea and you can make some edits from there.
Love it.
Okay. Now, internally, we use what's called Ren People or Zoho People. So our Ren applications are powered by Zoho. But what I've built in here, when you go to the LMS, is my courses. And then when we hire employees or hire real estate agents, they actually go through these onboarding courses right from within the system. Then we add the agent to the RHA Connect board, which is our task board, so that if there's any individual tasks that we need the agent to complete, we can go in and add the agent to the Connect board there and assign them specific tasks. Currently, with Lone Wolf Back Office, we're also using Zip Forms. So we are making sure that they have an RHA Zip Forms user account and that we connect that to their Ren Marketing Hub account, as well as their Cloud CMA user. So through Lone Wolf Back Office and our partnership with Lone Wolf, we're able to utilize those tools right from within the Marketing Hub. Now this might not apply to you guys. We add them to Jive for a round robin for our Google LSA. So our Google LSA is set up with a Jive phone number. That's our internal system that we use for our Polycom phones. And what that does is it allows us to have one phone number round robin to 5, 6, 10 different people. You can also replicate that with like a Google Voice number, right? You can assign a Google Voice number if you do the paid version to multiple real estate agents and then put the Google Voice number as your direct line on the LSA. Now, is anybody in here already signed up for LSA or not signed up for LSA? Could you let me know in the chat? Or unmute. I do like talking to people, not talking at them.
We're not set up yet. We're working on that. We're just trying to tackle one thing at a time.
Right. Okay.
I took it, the first one you had.
What was that, Scott? You broke up a little bit.
I took the first one you had.
Oh, you took the first one?
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Yeah. So Lee, what I would recommend is, now that we're getting ZBuyer up and running and everything, if you want to look into Google LSA, I'll make sure that you have access to the LSA masterclass. I'll send that to you and Julie so that you can go through it at your own pace. It's a masterclass that Isaiah and I built, like the ZBuyer one, that just kind of walks through what Google LSA does and how it works. And then I can coordinate with Lana Schultz, our director of the client journey over here, to make sure that your LSA gets set up.
We're already all verified and so we have it all set up. We just
just haven't pushed the button yet.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. The one thing I will say, for any of you that aren't signed up for LSA, the one main reason you should really look into it is that they're high quality leads that you only have to pay for if you stay on the phone with them for 30 seconds or longer. So if you think about it, when someone goes on Zillow, 90% of the time they're looking at a property and they're requesting information about that property because they're interested in buying it, which generally makes them a buyer type lead. Now, granted, a lot of buyers are also sellers, but when you look at Google LSA, when someone Googles real estate agents in Rochester, New York, they're looking to speak to a real estate agent. The majority of their time, it's a seller opportunity because they're looking for an agent. Most buyers don't look for an agent first, they look for a property. Most sellers look for an agent first before looking at properties that they might be interested after the sale. And so that's why I highly recommend the Google LSA. And again, guys, you can set your ad spend budget and that's great. But if you get a phone call from a telemarketer to your LSA or someone that's just completely unqualified and you can tell within the first 30 seconds you wouldn't work with them, all you got to do is hang up the phone and you don't get billed for that lead. You only get billed for the leads that you consider quality enough for you to stay on the phone for more than 30 seconds. And Scott, yeah, if you want the LSA masterclass, I can just send you the login to it so that you can go through it at your own pace. And that workshop that I did the first time, there's actually a recording of it in there so that you can rewatch the workshop too. Okay. And then we add the agent to the Calendly booking calendar. So for those of you that have a team Calendly, you want to make sure that you add the agent's calendar to that Calendly account if you're doing something of that sort. Because ultimately, if you have an ISA prospecting for you, or if you have our ISAs prospecting for you, and you want those to be round robin through your teammates, you can set that up through Calendly by adding them as users, and it'll actually look across multiple calendars. So say Anna wants to book a face-to-face appointment with me at 4 p.m., right? And I'm the ISA. And I'm looking at Lee's account at 4 p.m. There's only one person that can actually take that appointment, even though he has 5 agents. It's going to allow us to book that appointment with that agent at 4 o'clock because they're the only one that's available at that time. Otherwise, it's going to round robin through each of them if there's multiple people available. And then obviously we add the agent to our team page on our RHA website. So we go in, we update their headshot image, we write up a quick statement and about me for that agent, and we make sure that they're hosted on our team page. Do you guys have any questions about this checklist or just in general with the onboarding of a real estate agent to your team? No one?
I guess, John,
Mm-hmm.
do you like wait until they've returned the package, like a number one with the independent agreement and stuff before once they've signed it, then you move on to the next one?
Yep.
Or, okay.
So if you actually look at it here, this is our Connect board. This is like our task board that we use through Ren Connect. And so the first checklist has to be completed before you move to the next one. And our onboarding people actually do this in order. So they won't sign them up for any of our services or start getting them booked on anything until they've actually confirmed that the agreement's been signed. Because we all know how that goes, right? Say you get someone that says they're interested, you send them the contract, and then all of a sudden 3 days later, they're like, actually, you know what? I'm going to go somewhere else, right? And then all of a sudden we've spent all of this time onboarding this employee and, you know, creating all of their accounts just to go and shut it all down. So we've developed a process to make sure that we don't run into that. And we do the same with our employees, right? At Real Estate Nexus, when we onboard an employee, say they come in for their second interview and we've decided to set their hiring date to 12/14, right? On 12/14, we have their basic account set up for them, but we don't start the build out until they've actually signed the compensation plan and agreement with us that they're actually going to come on board. Granted, once in a while, we have an employee that signs the con plan and then doesn't show up on Monday randomly, but that's very here nor there. And the other reason that I love Ren Connect here, the way it works is, say I went into a board here and let's see. Say I went into this board here and I click new and I use the onboarding template. So I can type in OB and I can go to my templates here, right? And I've got it saved as a template. And you can see these are already automatically assigned to specific individuals within our organization to handle these tasks. And then there's a due date, which is automatic to 8 days after creation. So it's due on December 18th, and then we would put the start date as today. And then as soon as we set this up, as soon as I actually hit create, all 3 of these individuals are going to be email alerted that they have tasks that they need to complete. And and you can even set specific due dates on specific tasks, right? If I want to make sure that Joan sends out the contract by Sunday, I can set that specific task to Sunday. Does that make sense to everybody? So if you ever wonder how John Lehman gets so much done around here, John Lehman has his tasks all built out within Ren Connect. And that's why you guys end up seeing so many innovations so quickly, because I say I make sure I stay on top of my Connect tasks. So if you're not using a Connect board or some form of task board, would highly, highly, highly recommend it. And if you're a level 3 client, make sure you reach out to your marketing coach, because they'll be able to set you up with Ren Connect, and you can use that to manage your onboarding tasks as well. Now, Lee, just a question for you, because I know you have a team. Is there any other individual tasks that you guys take when you build out it, when you add a team member? Anything that's like specific to your team?
We get them. Well, because we're with EXP, we have them take. There's 3 or 4 classes that we have them sign up for. And we make sure that they take those. But, you know, what we do is we kind of have our, you know, daily accountability calls every day. And someone that's new, every day we're just making sure that they've accomplished everything that they're supposed to do. I mean, you pretty much covered everything that we do and then some, you know?
Got it. Okay. Does anybody else have any other questions or comments with this process for onboarding a new agent to your team or to your brokerage?
It's
No one?
Cricket
I know.
Friday.
It's Cricket Friday, man. I don't like Fridays sometimes. Everybody's all like, it's Friday, we're gonna go relax and do things. And John's just like, I want more people in my training.
Well, I kind of think that, you know, most of the people on the call, me included, like that's pretty buttoned up. I mean, you have a pretty buttoned up system. And I think that, you know, we use like a type form, and then we use a Trello board that helps us to keep everything organized, and we drag it all along. But what you have, is that a cross between like Trello and
It's like
Active Campaign?
Kind of. That, I would say it's like a mixture of those and Asana.
Got it.
Because it's very easy to create. I like it because it's easy to create templates. And you can have the templates auto assign the tasks to specific individuals. So like if we hire a new ISA, there's a template for ISA build outs. If we hire a new sales representative, there's a template for that. If we hire a new agent, there's a template, and it only goes to the people that are responsible for that build out. But there's also a management aspect to it where you can assign overseers like the whole task itself, like the project itself, is assigned to like 5 people, like me, Isaiah, Scott Tartaglia, Christopher Vicenti, right? The 4 of us would be on all of the onboarding projects, not specific tasks that we have to do anything, but to oversee it and make sure that it's actually getting done. And then you can have specific boards. Like the way we have it set up is every department within our organization has its own separate board, and the employees for each department are assigned to those specific boards so that they can only see tasks that are related to their department. So again, if you guys are interested in getting Ren Connect set up for your business and you're on level 3 or higher, make sure you reach out to your marketing coach. But that's all I've got for you guys today. I know it was a little bit shorter of a session on a Friday, but we wanted to go over onboarding with you, and we hope to see all of your smiling faces next Monday when we go over some more tech and sales and marketing strategies. And if you're on the event at 1:15, you will see Isaiah and Lee and myself. And we really look forward to your presentation later, Lee. All right.
Great, thanks.
All right. Have a good day, everybody.
Thanks.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Bye.